welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tanya from Little Vintage Cottage, and I am back with the 12 Months of Christmas series, and this is Christmas in June. So we are at the halfway mark. Only 6 more months to go after this. So this time our ornament that we are making is a little bit of macrame, kind of, very basic macrame. And so we are making these Santa or gnome ornaments. These are an updated spin on these little vintage ornaments that I have. These are some that my mom made. Hopefully you can see that. She made these way back in the day when I was young, and they are made the same way. It's just they're made with yarn and their hats are not separate. So let me show you how to make them. You can make these in any color. Their hats could be any color. So let me go over the supplies that you will need to make these. And so you will need, I got this from Hobby Lobby. It's Bonnie craft cord 4mm. So it's just your basic macrame cord. You will need some yarn. This is just your standard old school Red Heart brand yarn. Any color that you want your Santas to be. I used red on these two that I've made so far. You need a comb or a brush. This is an old brush that I used when I used to make teddy bears. So don't be grossed out. The stuff that's in it is teddy bear fur. Anyway, you'll need that to brush out their beards. You will also need something to pick out the strands in the cord. And so I'm just using a big needle. A toothpick would work great if you don't have a large needle. You will need a pair of scissors to cut your yarn and macrame cord, some white craft glue. I like Aleene's Tacky glue. You will need some wood rings. I got these at Hobby Lobby, 1.89 inches, almost 2 inches. And some wood beads. You only need 1 ring and 1 wood bead per ornament. This is what we wrap the macrame around, and this will be his nose. And you will also need a toilet paper tube or wrapping paper tube to make the hat. So let's get started making some cute little Santas. So we're going to use one of our little wood rings and the macrame yarn or macrame thread. And we're going to need to cut some lengths of the macrame thread. So what I'm going to use is a magazine, actually it's a painting book, to measure out my macrame cord. You want about 6 lengths of macrame cord that are about 11 inches long each. So I'm just going to wrap it around this magazine until I have that many, and then we'll go from there. So I've got 3 on the front and 3 on the back. So I'm just going to cut it off and then trim the bottom edge to cut them in half, and then the same on the top. Okay. Now you're going to take the wood ring and we're going to tie what is called a lark's head knot. It's like the most basic and easiest macrame knot, and oftentimes what you'll start almost every macrame project with. So you just fold your cord in half and place it behind the ring, and then take the two ends up over the wood ring and back through the loop and pull it tight. So it's like that. And then you're going to repeat this with your lengths of macrame cord that you cut. So I ended up using 6 of the lengths of macrame cord, and I've tied them all around, and now just kind of straightening them out, smash them together so that when your beard is done it will be nice and full and not with big gaps in them. And now just trim up the ends of the tied lengths so that they're all even. And then we're going to take the needle or toothpick, if that's what you're using, and just pick out starting at the ends of the macrame cord. Just kind of work your way up the cord to release the threads that are all woven together. And then you will take the brush and just kind of brush it out. And then you're going to continue on and do the same process to all of the cords. Alright, and so now just kind of smooth them down, and then we're going to trim again, because once you brush them out they're going to be uneven. And so you're going to cut it kind of in a V shape or rounded, or whatever you think looks best. You could leave it just how it is if that's what you like. I'm cutting mine in a rounded half circle shape. I would suggest taking your time with this part because you can't put it back, but you can continue trimming, a little bit at a time. And so now just set that aside, and we're going to make his hat now. So you're going to use the toilet paper tube and the yarn, and so you'll want to cut a little piece of the cardboard tube, cut about a 1/2 inch wide piece from the tube. And now you're going to cut some lengths of the red or whatever color yarn, and I used the same book that I used before, and I just wrapped it around the book the opposite, shorter direction. Wrap it around the magazine about 18 to 20 times so that you have, about 40 strands of yarn. And then you're going to do the same technique as the beard with the lark's head knot with these pieces of yarn all around the toilet paper tube. Make sure you have them all going the same direction. Now just go through and make sure all of your little threads are tight. And then we are going to turn it inside out. So push all of those threads up, back through the center, and pull it out the top, and it will create like a little stocking cap look. And then you're going to need another little length of yarn, and you're going to tie it around the top to create the stocking cap. So just make sure all of your yarns are, pointing up and semi-straight so that you catch them all when you tie it. And now just trim up the top so that it looks more like a little pom-pom on the top of a stocking cap. And I used these strings that I used to tie the cap and just created the hanger out of that, but you can also just get a new piece of yarn and create a little hanger. And now we're going to add the nose and then put the hat on. So your nose is going to sit right here on the ring, but let's put the hat on first, just so that it will help hold the nose on when we get ready to place it. So we'll use the white craft glue and just put a little bit along the top edge of the wood ring. And then slide your hat down over the top. And it's going to be a tight fit, but that's what you want. So just, work with it and pull it down until it meets the sides of the beard. And then put a little dollop of glue at the center of the ring, and you're going to put your nose in that. So I put it on the macrame beard and on the hat so that it's glued from both sides. And now we'll add the embellishment. I'm using a little unfinished wood heart. You could use any shape, a star, a heart. You could paint it. You could use a silk flower, a little plastic snowflake, some little holly leaves, just anything that you want to embellish this hat, and then clamp it and give it some time to dry. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this post. This was Christmas in June. Next up is Christmas in July. So be sure and share your finished little Santa ornaments that you made on the Facebook share thread. I would love to see them, and I know other people would too. So thanks for watching.